Attempts to pass anti-lynching legislation kept on getting beaten around the bush for 100 years. It wasn't until 2018 that the Senate passed the Anti-Lynching Legislation, Justice for Victims of Lynching Act. But then the House of Representatives took no action on that. But then 2 years later, in February 26, 2020, the House passed a revised version of it. But no anti-lynching law has actually been passed into federal law at all. We got to talk about Matt Walsh. Because apparently, he is deciding that it is better to blame people for virtue signaling something that is basically good, but instead he's, he's Matt. So this is the thing. Before we get into the thing, let's go ahead and get into the fan art. So first of all, we have a piece from Lunar Muse Serenity. I just got one more drawing of this outfit in the works. If my cat will let me work. Apparently Lunar Muse's cat does not want red dress booba. Dear God. All the outfits, all of them. The next one we have is from Yara Koro. It was Merry Christmas. I actually ended up using this one as a profile picture for about 2 months or so because it is adorable. It shows my avatar and Raz's avatar both on there, and it is great. The next one we have is from Maisie Cloud. No context given, but it seems to be an iteration on the design they put up just a few weeks prior. Few weeks in fan art time, not few weeks in real time. These are all from December. But as always, thank you all for your fan art submission. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop them into the fan art section of the Discord. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Matt Walsh has to say here. He says, Democrats passed an anti-lynching law. There hasn't been a lynching in decades. Lynching is already illegal. Lynching someone for racial reasons is not only illegal, but a hate crime. The law serves no purpose. Dems treat the law like a hashtag, using it for empty virtue signaling. Before we get into the reality of the situation, let's go ahead and go into the comments and see what people have to say. I'm just curious if people are beating him up in the quoted retweets. Let's pull those up first for shits and giggles. Let's pull those up. Why are you mad at an anti-lynching bill, Matt? Said, bullshit, there's still racially motivated lynching in present day. Just because we aren't being hanged on trees doesn't mean it doesn't happen. The last lynching in the U.S. was on February 23rd, 2020. Matt Walsh is an idiot. Ah, okay. I'm actually curious about that one. Hold on. When was the last lynching in the United States? Okay, the lynching of Michael Donald in Mobile, Alabama was one of the last reported lynchings in the United States. Several Ku Klux Klan members beat and killed Michael Donald, a 19-year-old African-American, and hung his body by a tree. Okay. That is farther away than when this is showing. That is much farther away than what he was saying. I wonder if he's got an actual source for that one. I see it as a passive-aggressive apology for institutionalizing lynching in the first place. Ah, right. Okay, so if you're not aware of what this is somebody saying Democrats bad because Democrats used to be incredibly racist in Washington. For those who are not aware of how the Southern strategy worked, the Southern strategy was one of the things that flipped us from having right-wing Democrats and left-wing Republicans to having left-wing Republicans or left-wing Democrats and right-wing Republicans. All of this is, approximate Overton windows and all of that. We don't have a truly functional left here in the United States, but approximately the Southern strategy is about when a lot of that stuff started to flip. It was with trucks and guns, but nonetheless. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look here. 4 black men were found hanged in 3 weeks. What is happening? From July 2020. Ah, yeah. So, yeah, lynching still happens in the United States. And Matt Walsh is just an idiot. But, let's go ahead and talk about what actually happened with this law. Like, why it had to happen. So, Let's talk about the Dyer Anti-Lynching Bill. It was introduced in 1918, but it was intended to make lynching a federal crime. The lynching law had to be reintroduced a bunch of fucking times, and even as you get like 4 years later, in January 1922, its passage gets halted in the Senate by a filibuster from Southern Democrats. Because remember, the Dixiecrats pre-Southern strategy were a thing you had to fucking deal with. Southern Democrats justified their position by arguing that lynchings were a response to rapes and proclaiming that the lynchings themselves were not an issue because federally it should be an issue of states' rights. You know, states' rights to what? Terrelyn, I imagine that people like you agree in states' rights to force people, streamers, to say terrible words on stream. I understand this position. I disagree with it, but I am nonetheless compelled to do what you are trying to force me to do with your fucking terrible 50,001 channel points, forcing me to say an UwU. UwU. And Freya, I swear to fuck, go. No. You don't get a say in states' rights. You're in Germany. Forcing me to say that as well. UwU. With your 50,000 and fucking one channel points. Also, Avalon of Babylon. Thank you for redeeming your points for an being on the right side of history. So, we talked about the fact that there was a bill that had to be pushed through, and while the position should have been, okay, no. Really, guys? Really? I'm trying to talk about a thing. I'm trying to talk about lynching, and all of you fucking degenerates. All of you dropping 50,001 goddamn channel points each time. What the fuck is wrong with you? What the actual fuck is wrong with you? Phantom Rem? 50,001 channel points forcing me to say a goddamn fucking UwU. And Sweet Melody as well said, yeah, okay, in my book too. Jesus Christ. I have a cup of soda, and I'm going to find you, and I'm going to inconvenience you by dumping it all over you. May your hair forever be sticky, because you're fucking making me say, UwU. UwU. The price of... Even my own partner, Raz, what the fuck is wrong with you? You should be playing on your Switch, not playing with my soul. Undecent, thank you. Undecent, thank you. For dropping a shield and stopping me from saying that. Lazy, I swear to God. Lazy, what the fuck is wrong with you too? Undecent dropped the shield, stopping me from saying that, and then you coming in with dropping your fucking UwU. UwU. I hate all of you. I hate every one of you. I have made an audience of nothing but enemies and traitors. Shields only work for one. Screw it, you're in good company. Quethon, what the fuck? UwU. UwU. That's 7! 7 of them! Yes, I know, Katini, you did a posture check. I'm trying to stop seizing after all of this, but thank you. Fagery, thank you for redeeming your points, friend. You fucking monster. Every one of you. What the... Why? Why? We're talking about something important. And all of you, every one of you, has to do this. I swear to... Okay, I have a question. When you go home and you take off your shoes and you come inside, is it... are the tip of your shoes, are they significantly bigger than the breadth of the rest of your shoe? Are they perhaps rainbow colored? Do they look as if they should be worn while walking around in a circus, you fucking clowns? And then, of course, MC Poto decides that they want to drop one too. Okay, why? Fucking 50,001 channel points dropped by MC Poto. UwU. UwU. Trying to talk about very important things, and yet all of you are irresponsible. Anyways... Attempts to pass anti-lynching legislation kept on getting beaten around the bush for 100 years. It wasn't until 2018 that the Senate passed the anti-lynching legislation, Justice for Victims of Lynching Act. But then the House of Representatives took no action on that. But then 2 years later, in February 26, 2020, the House passed a revised version of it. But no anti-lynching law has actually been passed into federal law at all. Not yet. Not by both houses. Not by both houses. When you tell me, Matt Walsh, Democrats passed an anti-lynching law. There hasn't been a lynching in decades. Lynching is already illegal, blah, 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 blah. When you tell me that, but when I look at the history of anti-lynching laws in the United States, I see 100 years of passing the buck around back and forth. I have to ask, Matt, whose actual side are you on here? Why are you mad about an anti-lynching law? This doesn't affect you. This doesn't affect you in any way, shape, or form. At worst, it's a net neutral. And yet, here you are, disappointed that Americans passed a law against lynching when we've been trying to do it for 100 fucking years. What the fucking hell? And yet, here we are. Mothman's cousin, thank you for redeeming your points for a stretch. I just want to say, Matt Walsh is a bit of an idiot. He's a bit of an idiot. This is the guy that complains about critical race theory, by the way. Very educated on the topic. Guy you should definitely take seriously. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section below. There wasn't much here except for my chat making me unreasonably angry. All of you deserve to be put into some kind of prison system. Every one of you. Tucker Weiss for 100 bits says, I'm half surprised Matt Walsh didn't sneak a redneck voice. The Democrats, the delusions back in the day. I'm not surprised either. Anyways, as always, everybody, if you enjoyed this video in any way, shape, or form, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you want to support the channel and what I do, there's plenty of ways to do so down there. You can go down and click one of the links to either Drink Wraith or also DDLG Playground. If you want to support the channel that way, you can go over to Patreon. That's the thing you can do as well. Or you can always do the standard, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, and go away. I'm kidding. I'm kidding on that one. Thank you for watching, everybody. As always, everyone, insert end of video tagline here.